Welcome to the amazing world of dinosaurs. I'm Anna, and this is Tyler.
Anna and I love exploring a good dinosaur museum.
That's right. But how do paleontologists find all these dinosaur bones?
Well, today we're going to take you on 2 awesome dinosaur digging adventures.
In the best places in the country to find dinosaur bones.
One adventure is in the heart of Wyoming, where a girl named Joey's lifelong wish to dinosaur hunt is coming true.
The second adventure takes place in the Southwest, where a group of paleontologists are looking for something extremely rare, baby dinosaur bones.
Will either team find any dinosaur bones?
It's dino discovery time on
Digging Up Dinosaurs.
This paleontologist is looking for dinosaur bones. Where is he searching? It seems kind of like a desert. Well, he's in a special landscape called Badlands, a place where the odds of finding a dinosaur bone are the best. Dino bones can be really big or really small. Without fossilized dinosaur bones, no one would have known that dinosaurs even existed. But if dinosaurs lived so long ago, why do we find their bones today? Believe it or not, finding a dinosaur bone is extremely rare. More than 99% of the dinosaurs that roamed the earth didn't leave behind any bones that we can find. That leaves paleontologists looking for less than 1% of the entire dinosaur population. This is because a specific set of events must happen in order to preserve dinosaur bones. First, when a dinosaur dies, its bones must be washed over and completely covered by floods or mudslides. A dinosaur can also get covered by a landslide like this one, which buries the dinosaurs from head to toe. Then, over time, this sediment gets harder and harder as new layers of sediment get piled on top. Finally, this hardened rock slowly gets washed away or eroded, and then these ancient deposits can be seen by you. And if you start looking here, you just might find a dinosaur bone, if you're lucky. At the Wyoming Dinosaur Center in Thermopolis, Wyoming, it's Joey's dream to go dinosaur hunting.
Well, this is my first time digging, and I'd like to find like the biggest dinosaur.
She is joined by her godmother, Carla, and Brian, a professional fossil hunter who is leading the expedition. Where are they going? To a place where a number of dinosaur bones have already been dug up over the past year. A place called a fossil quarry. They are looking for big dinosaur bones from the Jurassic period. Now, let's meet another crew. These fossil hunters are driving to a location in America's Southwest. We are very lucky to get a peek at this expedition because they are searching for some of the rarest fossils in the world. Baby dinosaur bones. Bones that are 150 million years old. Dr. Rod Sheets has kept this site secret ever since he found a few signs of baby dino bones. Now, he's decided to return to the site with a bigger team, including his family and world-famous paleontologist Dr. Bob Bacher. Back with Joey's team, on the way to the dig site, Brian stops by the famous SI Quarry. a quarry that houses some of the most unique dinosaur fossils and tracks.
In here we have the SI quarry. SI stands for something interesting. The reason it's called this is for the fact that as we were trying to dig the road up here, we were cutting down through this hill that's behind me, and we hit this layer. And we were like, wait, stop, there's something interesting here. And that's how it got its name. Basically what this is a large limestone layer that has bones set into it. All these bones come from a Camarasaurus. A Camarasaurus is something that looks just like this guy right here. He's a long-necked dinosaur. It's about 15 tons. One cool thing about this space is if you look at this depression here, this is where the body of the animal actually had died and collapsed and pushed in the mud. And we have a perfect indentation covering that was preserved. If you look right below you, you see a lot of undulations in the ground. All these undulations are footprints. We actually have a few colored out in red. That's a Camarasaurus footprint. This animal was walking in this direction for the fact that the claw was on the inside right here, and it has an impression of it. There's also a theropod print over there as well as behind you, a larger one. We're unsure what theropod did it. Could have been an Allosaurus, could have been a Torvosaurus, we're not quite sure. Any questions or any things you want to ask about all this? All right, well then we can head back in the car and we'll head up to our dig site.
Back with the Sheets family expedition, they finally arrive at the dig site called Dinosaur Island.
Hold on. Before we show you what they find, and it's gonna be really cool.
Let's look at where dinosaur digging began.
Yeah, let's go back in time to the 1800s.
To the Wild West of dinosaur digging.
The discovery of dinosaurs was really not that long ago, only about 150 years. Back then, paleontologists had no idea what dinosaurs were. They were finding little bits and pieces of mysterious bones, but didn't have the slightest clue as to what kind of animal they belonged to. Today, we know that what paleontologists were finding were dinosaurs. The first complete dinosaur skeleton was discovered near Haddonfield, New Jersey in 1858. The discovery of Hattie the Hadrosaurus sparked a craze. Every museum in the world had to display dinosaur bones. Dinosaur hunters headed west into America's Badlands to look for fossil bones. And not all of these guys got along. In fact, they began to race against each other. Race for who could find the most dinosaurs. One race even got ugly. Ugly enough to be called the Bone Wars between two of the most famous dinosaur collectors of all time, O.C. Marsh and E.D. Cope. O.C. Marsh grew up poor, and E.D. Cope grew up rich. It didn't take long until these men began fighting about everything that had to do with dinos. They argued about what to name dinosaurs, whether dinosaurs were lizards, mammals, or something else. Soon, the fighting had gotten so bad that they were blowing up each other's fossil quarries. These men would stop at nothing to be the best. They would even race to see who could put a dinosaur together the fastest, often putting dinosaur skeletons together the wrong way. But their fighting did something else, something much more important. Their race to find the most dinosaurs unearthed more fossils and species of dinosaurs than anybody could have imagined. When they started their fossil race, only 9 dinosaur species existed. By the time their fight was over, they had uncovered almost 150 new species of dinosaurs, like Triceratops, Allosaurus, Diplodocus, Stegosaurus, and Camarasaurus.
Wow, it was really cool learning about how dinosaur hunting started.
Did you know that today, thanks to Cope and Marsh's discoveries, over 1,000 species of dinosaurs have been unearthed?
Wow, and did you know that today, thousands of dinosaur hunters are looking for fossils all over the world?
Yeah, here's a question. How many continents have dinosaurs been discovered on?
The answer is all of them, including Antarctica.
Cool. Let's rejoin Joey's team. They're actually going to dig in the region where 150 years ago, Cope and Marsh were finding some of the first dinosaurs.
A formation known as the Jurassic Morrison, where more dinosaurs are found than anywhere else in the country.
It looks like they're just arriving at the site. Will Joey find any dinosaur bones?
Let's find out.
First, Brian gives them an introduction to this fossil quarry. This is one of over 80 dig sites where dinosaur bones have been found.
But yeah, we'll be digging down here in this quarry right here. This is our BS quarry. Stands for beside sauropod. Our sauropod site is actually right where that red barrel's at. That's where we had started digging, and we've slowly moved all the way over here. So just think of how this quarry's gotten a lot bigger. We actually even think that this quarry connects to WBS, which is the quarry we passed when we were just coming over there. So this is probably a really big area for them.
Notice how part of the quarry is covered with blue tarps. Why is that?
The reason we cover stuff up is the fact that rainwater and wind and all that actually can deteriorate the bone. So we throw a tarp on it just to protect it enough. I mean, there's still going to be the fact that if it really hard rains, it'll still affect the bones and destroy them a bit, but it's better that we give them at least a little bit of protection other than no protection at all. I've honestly not heard of that.
Now it's time to learn the tools of the trade.
I'm gonna have you digging up here. All right. The main tools we use up on the sites are these brushes. Grab a bucket real quick. All right. Basically, this is what the primary tools we use are just these three: brushes and sweeps, little paintbrush, and an oyster knife. With the brushes, our motto is a clean quarry is a happy quarry. So really, all this talus right here, we want to clean all this up that's around stuff. So basically, we want to get all this little loose stuff up until you can see just the rock. The reason for this is sometimes there's bones sitting right on underneath the talus, and you don't see it just because you don't clean up your area. So as long as you keep your area clean, who knows what you can find. That's what we're actually working in here is Camarasaurus. There were believed to be 3. We think there's possibly 5 different animals here. They're all Camarasauruses. We do find Allosaurus teeth here occasionally as well, but it's primarily just Camarasaurus material. All right, so basically these, I showed you what to do with that. Your little brush is for cleaning up even finer stuff when you want to get in one of these holes where this big brush doesn't handle easily. You can get all that up. Your oyster knife is the last resort. You want to use only that much of the tip of it, okay? Just that much. You want to put it right in when you find a crack, you put it in there and you slowly turn it. If the rock doesn't move, clean out around it first before trying again. You want to because you want to be very gentle with these bones. We don't want you to break them if you don't have to. So you just want to be as careful as possible, all right? You don't have to go as slow entirely, but you want to go slow enough that you pay attention. Okay? So here are your tools. If you'd like to start digging right back here.
The quarry the team is digging into today has produced a lot of dinosaur bones, but lately, not much has been found.
The other scapula we had was over 6 feet tall. Was found right in this area. I mean, it was huge. It was the jacket itself weighed over 1,000 pounds when we were pulling it out. We covered it in plaster and wrapped it in burlap to pull it out, and it was heavy.
Wait a sec.
How do paleontologists find fossil quarries in the first place?
Well, when we're actually looking for dinosaurs and trying to find a good place for it, we usually look for telltale signs of the different formations and as well as anything on the surface. If we see a bone sticking out of the ground, we start excavating from there and we hope that it expands upon it.
While Joey and Carla get started, let's go back to the Sheets family expedition and see how they're doing. The crew has arrived at the site and they are combing hills on hands and knees. The day is getting hotter, over 100 degrees. The crew is starting to wonder if they're ever going to find baby dinosaur bones. Dr. Sheets knows from his research that they are trying to find baby Dryosaurus fossils. The way the fossils are found at Dinosaur Island is different from Joey's dig site in Wyoming. The rock here is looser and softer. The bone should be lying on the surface of the mound for all to see, weathered out by water and time. What's so special about this site? Well, this mound used to be an island, surrounded on all sides by a river. Maybe the dinos were stuck here. Maybe they chose to live here. They might even find all different ages of Dryosaurus, from embryo to young adult.
We do have eggshell, we have embryonic dinosaurs here. You know, that the mother would have had to that would have happened right here. The babies now, did they choose to stay in this area, or did they were they confined to this area? You know, that's the question. I mean, why are we finding 1 month, 2 month old babies in here, in with all the embryos?
How about a lair where the whole family would return every night after feeding?
Yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe they hung out together as a pod. I don't know.
The team is about to lose hope and turn back for the day. Suddenly, Dr. Bob finds something.
Half-grown. That is the lower back of the torso of a dryosaur.
Soon, everyone is finding bones.
Oop, there's another one. Right there.
Hey Tyler, do you know how many bones dinosaurs had?
Lots.
The most we know of is the famous T-Rex Sue. She had at least 200 bones.
Wow. How many bones do people have?
Great question. People also have around 200 bones.
Whoa. I guess people are more like dinosaurs than I thought.
Cool, huh? Before we return to Joey's team, let's look at a fascinating dino discovery.
Dinosaur fossil teeth. The best dinosaur prize of all.
Bucky Derflinger has discovered a duck-billed dinosaur. Here, he explains the best part.
The best part of this dinosaur would be the lower jaw, and that's what this bone is here. And if you can look, the teeth on this dinosaur are just absolutely beautiful. And there's all of these little teeth that are on here. There's probably 2,000 teeth right here that's laying all together, and they formed in rows. And so you can see how nice and pretty they are. And this is the top part of the teeth where they would chew up their food.
Joey and Carla haven't found anything yet. Brian tells them that this quarry might be all out of dinosaur bones. And if they don't find anything today, the quarry will be closed to future digs. Can Joey save the quarry so future explorers can find dinos here?
Hey, look, Brian, I found one.
You did?
Yeah. Wow.
How do you think of that?
That's pretty cool.
Hey, you did. Congrats. All right. Stefan, we're gonna start digging out behind here now, okay? So all this, you gotta start digging down, you gotta start sweeping this all off. You wanna go around it, both sides of it, okay? All right, start working on that, and I'll let you work on it this way, it's all your bone. And make sure you kind of dig out more over here too. You don't wanna get too close to it because you don't wanna hurt the bone. You wanna dig actually around the bone.
Soon, Carla finds something too.
All right, look, Brian, look. Is that bone?
Yes, it is. Congrats. And here's the rest of it right here.
Yeah.
she peeled this rock off, and this was underneath this, and there's more bones sitting right in there.
That's big too. That's a big hunt.
Awesome. Since Joey and Carla found more dinosaur bones,
This quarry will stay open.
Dr. Sheets' team is ready to move on to the next step.
The Sheets family grabs some buckets and shovels. They are going to load sediment that may contain more dinosaur bones into buckets and mesh bags. Then, take what they've collected to a nearby stream. Placing the mesh bags and special square mesh containers called sieves into the stream, the crew is washing away any extra sediment in order to expose hidden dinosaur bones. It looks like they're having good luck finding more bones.
It's the spine with a little zag apophysis there, but it's mostly covered in matrix. But that's cool. Neural arches don't get preserved very well because it's just thin bone. Usually, just doesn't survive preservation.
I have an arch. I have an entire bone.
He gets so thrilled. We did pretty good, you know. If we can get a handful of bones picking them off the surface, that's good. And if we can get a handful of bones while we're at the river, that's good. And by the time we get all this concentrate back to the museum, we wash it some more and pick through it, and we'll end up with another handful of bones.
Well, it seems that Dr. Sheets had a very successful day.
Let's hurry back to Joey's team.
So, Joey, tell us.
What did you think about digging up dinosaurs?
It was great. We found like millions of bones. I think the whole world should do it, so we can find more experience about these dinosaurs.
Hey, Brian.
What are the 3 most important things about dinosaur digging?
First off, always safety. You want to be careful of what you're doing. Basically, if you go really hard with an oyster knife or a chisel, you can break bones. You always want to go slow, steady, and be patient with it. Second thing is you always want to know what you're working on. If you actually know there's a bone there, try to figure out what it is. This way you know where the bone might be heading to. So this way you can go on the outside of it and dig down slowly. The reason for this is you don't want to hurt the bone at all again. And this way also, if you know what it is, you automatically know how big it is, how different size it's going to be, and you can take out that much rock instead of having to take out a whole quarry just for one little piece of bone that looked like it was going to be something else entirely. All right, and the third most important thing is always to have fun when you're doing it. If you're not having fun, why be out here? Dinosaurs are awesome, they're amazing, they're great. You gotta have fun when you're doing it. That's the most important thing to do when you're digging.
For both expeditions, it's time to grab as many bones as they can carry and take them to a museum.
Where they will... What exactly will they do with all those bones?
On the next episode, we'll visit a brand new museum devoted entirely to dinosaurs, and we'll see exactly what they do with dinosaur bones.
Cool. See you on the next episode of
The Amazing World of Dinosaurs.